guys, it's Maesa, and today I'm going to be doing my first Storytime video. This is the story of, I don't really know what I'm going to call it yet. It's like when I got in trouble with the principal about my tweet. First thing before I start the video is my background. I have been working, wait, I should probably leave this way. I've been working super hard on, and my window's that right there. So I didn't really know how to film this, so I ended up turning all my lights off, closing my blinds, and putting a light in front of me. And I think my lighting looks good. Let me know if my lighting looks good. But I don't know. I love the way this turned out. I love that. And I love this thing. Anyway, so let me know if you like this background and like the setup and all of that fun stuff. But yeah, let's just get started with the video. Okay, so let me start off by the fact that like I don't get in trouble at school. Ever. Like I'm kind of a goody two-shoes at school. Like a teacher's pet. Like, I do not want to get in teacher's pets. Like, I always try to be on the good side. Sometimes people get mad about it, but whatever. I don't really care. And I have never gone to the principal's office unless it's been, like, going for, like, some super, like, high, like, I did something super high in academics or something. Ignore my hair. It's doing weird things. Okay, so, like, because of that, okay, how should I start this story? So I was sitting in my 6th hour, which is right after lunch, and that's geometry, and I'm like advanced in that class because of the fact that I'm in physics. I already learned the unit that we're currently in, so I'm working at my own pace. So I'm sitting here very like into my geometry, you know? And then all these people in my class start shouting at me, Maesa, Maesa, Maesa. I'm like, what? And I look up, I'm the assistant principal. Okay, so in our school we have a principal and 2 assistant principals. And one is like this little lady, and one is like this really big scary guy. And yeah, so it's the scary guy standing in the doorway, and I'm obviously not going to say their names for like, yeah. you know what I'm saying. So everyone's like, Maesa, Maesa. So I look up and he's standing there and he needs me, and he's like, Maesarydberg. I was like, and so I got up and I followed him. And I didn't even bring my phone now that I think of it. Okay, so if anyone knows me personally, you know that my stories are super long. So this is probably going to be a super long video. Just because I feel like when I tell stories, they have to be super detailed. Anyways, that's irrelevant. Okay, so then I get up and I'm like freaking out. And so, rewind. I didn't know, at first I had no idea what it was. And then after it clicked. So at my school, we have the regular meal, and then we have salad, like the salad and soup. And then like by the lunch tables more, we have it's called just like snack bar or whatever. You know, things we call a snack bar. And they sell like a whole bunch of just crap, like chips, cookies, like soda type things, but more like juice. Or like, you know, those ice things, they sell those there. Ice cream, nachos, pretzels. You get the point. It's stuff along the lines of that. And a lot of people like just eat like just that for your lunch because you can use your lunch money for that. And so like a huge portion of people do that. And because I have the last lunch of the day, they always say how messy our tables are, even though it's like A and B lunch, and like C lunch doesn't even make the mess. And so yesterday they threatened that if we didn't have the tables clean, that they were going to shut down the snack bar for the like today. So I don't know, like then today we come in and there was no snack bar. And then like there's one door, or actually there's 2 doors. There's 2 like double sets of doors to come into the lunchroom. One you go through to get your lunch, like your meal, and there's like lines going through those doors, and the other ones are open, and that's where people can just walk in who like, well, I sit down until the line goes down and then I go and stand in line. Or people who eat snack bar just go in that line, and then like people who bring their own lunch, obviously. And so I'm sitting at the table, and our table is the one right next to the snack bar, like it's like the closest one. And so we're sitting there, and all these people walk into the door to go stand in the snack bar line because it's right inside the door. The other assistant principal, the girl assistant principal, and our school police officer were standing there, and like they were laughing every time someone would come in, and like they okay, how do I say this? The kids would walk in, look, turn around, and then like be like, oh, they're not getting lunch. And then like it's almost like they were like laughing because like, ha, fooled you type thing. And it was like really made us mad because there's all these people that are like now not eating because they did this. And it's not the first time they've done this. They've done this many times. And sorry, I'm just trying to pull it up so I can read part of something. later in the story. And so we were getting like super mad about this because like there's all these kids and like they just shut it down. And like it was like, for me, it was the fact that they were laughing about it because they're supposed to be like in charge of the school. They're supposed to be good role models, and they're laughing at this, and it's like obviously not funny because it's not eating. And so my friend got super mad. She was like sits with us at our lunch table, so she decided to write a tweet. And what she ended up doing is she ended up, I don't know if you can see this, it's in notes, and she added that as like a picture to her tweet. And then in her tweet, she tagged the school and the city that we live in. And because our school has a Twitter that's like managed by the school people, I guess. And so I'll just read the tweet now. And she tweeted this during lunch. Shutting down the snack bar and letting kids not eat lunch isn't funny at all, yet the police officer and assistant principal are laughing their heads off as kids leave when they see the snack bar closed. Closing it doesn't benefit everyone, and it's getting out of control how many times it's been shut down during the year. Most kids depend on the snack bar because they can't afford a regular lunch, and not giving them the opportunity to eat lunch is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, the last part I don't agree with, because no matter how much money you have, you can always go and get that. I mean, even if you don't qualify for like the free lunches, they can't refuse to give you lunch. That's something the school can't do. So, I mean, I don't completely agree with that part, but the fact that, like, whatever. So then she's kind of like, am I going to get in trouble for this if anyone sees it? And I'm like, well, you didn't say anything. Like, you weren't, like, just saying, like, F the school or something. Like, they weren't saying anything. Like, you were just stating the way you felt, you know? And so then I'm sitting in my 6th hour, like, not even remembering it. And, one big part of this I probably should have told you. So she's like, hey, guys, everyone's sitting at the table. Go retweet this. And I think I was the only one who did, because I think I'm the only one who has Twitter. And so I retweeted it. And whatever, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't even write the tweet. Like, there's no trouble I can get in. So then I'm sitting, fast forward back to where I was. I'm sitting in geometry, and then he calls me out, and like I said, I was going out and I was super nervous. And then I had no idea what it was, and then English Maesa, come on. So then I realized this is what it is. Like, why else would he be talking to me? And then he's like, he could tell that I was really nervous. So he's like, don't worry, calm down, you're not in trouble, take a deep breath. And I was like, okay. You know, like, I was still nervous because he's a very intimidating guy. And so then we go, and he tried to find a place for us to talk, and so we went to, like, all these different places. Finally, we ended up sitting in the back of the library. So random. And then he's like, so tell me how you feel. And I was like, because I didn't want to be like start talking about that if he didn't see it, you know? And he goes, Twitter. And I was like, okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. I just wanted to make sure. And then I was like, I don't even remember how I started. I was just like, well, we felt like the fact that the snack bar was shut down. And I explained to him that, like, my main problem was with the fact that, like, the administration was laughing at him. He, of course, said which ones. And I told him. And then he said something about, like, the last part of the tweet. And I said, well, I don't agree with that. And he goes, well, then why'd you type it? And I was like, huh? He goes, you typed it. And I was like, no, that wasn't me. He thought the whole time that I was the one who posted the tweet. And I mean, all I did was retweet it. So I explained that to him, like, I just retweeted it. And he goes, oh, well, who did tweet it? And I told him, obviously, my friend's name. Because I'm not going to lie. I mean, if he looks on her account, it's her name. So, I mean, and so then he looked and he goes, oh, yeah, that's who it is. And I was like, yeah. And then he obviously still, like, I told him that I still did agree with it. And so he was more like I wasn't expecting him to be mad about it. But it was kind of more one of those things where he was like, okay, I see there's a problem. How can I fix your problem? Like, how can I make this better? And so I explained to him again, like, the main problem was, like, who laughs at stuff like that? Like, that's not funny. And he pretty much totally agreed with me. He said that is completely uncalled for. They should not have done that. And he's going to talk to both of them because, like he was saying, even if that's not what they meant by that, that was my perception of it, along with, it's got to be other people. Like, I'm sure I'm not the only one. Obviously, everyone sitting at my table thought the same thing. And he said, again, like, not even if that's not what they mean, there should not even be, like, anyone able to think that, if that really makes sense what I'm trying to say. And so he was totally like, yeah. And then he, of course, needs to talk to the principal because, like, the principal's, like, the highest one. So, of course, he needs to talk to him. And that was about it. We just kind of talked about it, and then he goes, "This is one of those things that I would prefer for it to not be on Twitter, and instead if you just came straight to me." And I was telling my parents obviously the story after school, and they were like, "Actually, Twitter is a very good way to do it because, like, who's just gonna go up to them and say that? Like, I don't have the guts to do that." But like the fact that he came talk to me, that was okay because he started it, if that makes sense. And so, where was I? Oh yeah, so he's like, keep this off of social media or whatever. And then I was like, do you want me to like go retweet it? Because I can do that. And he goes, oh no, you don't have to do that. I mean, obviously you can if you want, but like I'm not making you do that, nothing. But when I came back to class, I did retweet it just so I didn't have it like on my feed and like I didn't want to like cause any more problems. And so and that was about it. I was like super nervous, and then of course when I came back to class, everyone thought I was in trouble, and I was like, guys, it's okay, I'm not in trouble. Yeah, that's about it. That's about as much happened with me. And of course he was gonna go talk to my friend, so I'll read you the text that my friend sent me, telling me what happened when they talked. Because I asked him, I'm like, because I saw that she deleted the tweet, and so I was like, oh, did he come and talk to you? So he said, oh yeah, he did. And so then I asked what he said. Okay, so here's the text from her. Okay, so I was coming back from the nurse's office and I saw him coming out from a teacher's, the teacher that she was in, room, and he went down to the nurse, and then I came back to class and he called the teacher out to talk to her, which I don't know why he did that because he didn't do that with me. Like, he just pulled me right out of class. And then she said, I started crying, and then he called me out, and then I went back to get my stuff, and he told me 1,000,000,000 times to calm down and take a deep breath, and then I wasn't in trouble, and he asked if I wanted to go to the media center or the conference room, and I picked the conference room, which the conference room is just, like, a little room that holds a few people. It's just a conference room. It's, like in our office, we have 2 secretaries, and then around the outside, we have, like, the principal, the assistant principal, the police officer, like, and a few other people. And then there's a little conference room. And he said he agrees with what I tweeted, but he said he's kind of angry that I took it to Twitter instead of talking to him about it. But I told him that I felt like something else had to be done about it because I felt as if it needed to go higher than the school, which I don't really agree with, but whatever. And he asked me if there could have been a better way to close the snack bar and announced that it was going to be closed. I brought up the point that A and B lunch do leave messes, and I told him that I feel like C lunch gets blamed for everything, and he kept asking me my opinion on what should be done, and I told him that they should have made an announcement the day before or something, so people like would have been able to plan in advance, you know? And that's all she told me, so I mean, it went smooth. Like, I don't know, I'm curious to see what happens next time they try to close the snack bar, because this was a train wreck. It's almost like they do it as a punishment, which is really wrong. Like, they're the ones making the money off of it. I think that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this story time, let me know. And also, any other stories that you would like me to do. I could do a lot of different stuff. Just let me know. Because I like to do story times. Like, I like to tell stories. But I never know what to talk about. So, I just did this because this just happened to me today. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below any suggestions you have for future videos, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys! So, ow! I just, like, rolled my toe.